Welcome back. In part 3, we are about to discuss about the finite state machine with input and output. And those machines are 6 tuple, which is we have here 6 samples that some of them we already saw it. Now let's check each one and what does it mean. Here we have a finite non-empty set of states, input alphabet, and one new thing which is the output alphabet, and we just represent it by having input slash output. Then we have initial state transition function, where when an alphabet goes to a state, then it change the state. And we have an output function where if an alphabet goes inside a function, it produces an output. And we basically represent this in a state diagram using the arcs or arrows. Now if you notice here, we don't have a final state, but we have two new things, which is the output of alphabet and output function. Let's have a look on an example here. Let M be a machine with 3 states, 2 alphabet, 2 output, and initial state. And here we have the transition function, and here we have the output function. What do we need to do here? We need to draw the transition diagram for M, and we check the output string and the output of a string. As in the case of DFA, we can describe the transition function and the output function using a table. So for our example, we do have this table S corresponding to the transition function and output function. And what do we mean by this? We mean that if A is processed by Q0, so it will move to Q1 and will produce 0. If B is processed by Q0, then it will remain in the same state and it will produce 1. Alright? Also, we can describe the machine using a directed graph. So in this case, as we saw earlier, the arcs will be labeled by an input and output. Let's check how we can do this. As we did in DFA, first of all, we need to mention the states, and here we have 3 states. Initial state as Q0, and then we can go one by one referring to transition function and output function. So if A is processed by Q0, then it will goes to Q1 and will produce 0 as an output. If B, then it will remain in the same place and will produce 1. For Q1, A will take Q1 to Q2 and will produce 1, while B, it will go also for Q2 and will produce 0. For Q2, A will take it to Q0, will produce 1, and B will take it to Q1 and will produce 1. And here we draw the state diagram for our finite state machine with input and output. Alright, now let's check those 2 questions. What is the output string if the input string is A, B, A? So here it's asking for the output string after processing the input A, B, A. So initially, M will start in state Q0. So after processing A, it will goes to Q1, and processing A going to Q1 will produce an output 0. Then we have B will be processed by Q1 and we will go for the next state, which is Q naught, and will produce 0. Then A will take us to Q naught and will produce again 0. A will goes to Q1 and will produce again 0, and the final A will take us to Q2 and will produce 1. So the output string of the input string ABAAA is 00001. All right. Now, what is the output of the string AABB? We will do the same process. So initially we start with Q naught, then A is entered, so we'll go to Q1 and will produce a 0. Then A will go to Q2 and will produce 1. B will go to Q1 and will produce 1. And B will go to Q2 and will produce 0. So the output of the string A is the last output in my after processing the input, which is 0 in this case. Alright. Okay, here we have another two examples, and one of these examples is a unit time delay FSM. And we do have like machines that does not accept an input, but it accepts an input as a time. So if you wait for 0, then you go for next state. If you wait for 1, then you will go for the next state. And here the description of the FSM we have. Another example is the the newspaper vending machine. And here we have an input of 25 cents. So this machine will accept money, coins, and then will produce what? A newspaper. So you can take those two machines as a case study to understand how we can apply the whatever we learned today in a real life machines. And here we came to the end of our lecture. Miss Alia was with you, and here's my email and my Twitter account. And we already discussed about finite state automata, definition, representations, and types. Go back to your tutorial, take the use of your reference book and the questions there, and try to solve as many questions as you can. And as I mentioned before, if you have any inquiries, please do not hesitate to contact me anytime through those accounts. Thank you guys, stay safe, and we'll see you inshallah in the next online session.